Sleepinderella. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a tiny kingdom. The tiny kingdom had a tiny hut where lived a poor old man and his most beautiful gem of all, his daughter. She had the smoothest skin and had cherry red lips. She was loved by all the animals and birds. The princess of the kingdom herself tried to become like the beautiful maiden, but failed each day. And that's not all. She was spotted by the handsome prince who had come to marry the princess, and after falling hopelessly in love with the maiden at first sight, he married her instead. And much to the agony of the princess, the maiden and the prince got married in the magical land with magical creatures around, and they lived happily ever after. Now, let's come to the real story. In a town not far away lived a young woman in a not-so-poor house. And she did look beautiful. She will once she takes a shower, and for that she'll have to wake up!
Huh? Who was that? Why do I always have to wake up in the middle of my dream?
I don't think you can say that since you are always sleeping. There is a reason your friends call you Sleepinderella. That's right. This story is of Carol, our very own Sleepinderella. Sleepinderella was a young girl who had only two passions in life, sleeping and dreaming.
Carol, wake up! You just had a bath. Oh, Mother, just 5 more minutes.
It was Sleepinderella's dream to meet her Prince Charming and marry him. All she could think about was the happy ending her life deserves. But all she did was think. She was so much in love with the prince of her dreams that she always wanted to meet him in her dreams itself. One would find her dreaming at the parties, at outings, and even at...
Carol, wake up! What is wrong with you?
Parents talked about Sleepinderella's sleeping problems at lengths with different doctors, but each time there was just one answer.
She is just lazy.
It wasn't just Carol's parents who were worried about Carol's sleeping habits. Carol was famous for her habits in the whole town.
Hello, Sleepinderella. Hope you're not sleepwalking.
Oh, of course I am. So I shall leave without paying you, and you won't be able to do anything about it since, I was merely sleepwalking.
The townspeople tried to make fun of her, but Sleepinderella was always a step ahead of them. One day, as Sleepinderella was in her usual chores, her friend dropped by.
Hi, Sleepinderella. There is a ball in the palace. Maybe you will meet your Prince Charming there. And if you stay awake for some time, maybe you'll actually be able to see him. Oh, a ball. I would love to attend it.
And that was it. Carol bought the most beautiful gown from a shop called the Mother of Magical Gowns and was all ready to go to the ball.
Oh, Mr. Ratatouille, this cart looks like a pumpkin.
Oh yes, this was built by an intelligent craftsman. We have to be back before midnight.
Oh, is it because this cart will turn into a pumpkin then?
Oh, you and your fairy tales. We have to be back because we don't want you to fall asleep in the prince's castle.
Yeah, of course. Bye, Mother. Bye, Father.
Once at the palace,
We are here. I will run some errands around and be here to pick you up around 11:45. Is that all right?
Oh, that's all right.
You have fun, dear. I hear the palace is splendid. A high ceiling and full of shining lights. And the prince is also one of a kind. They say he is the most handsome, kind, and able gentleman. I will leave you to it now. Have a good time.
Sleepinderella was so astounded to hear about the palace that she immediately wanted to capture it in her dreams. A 5-minute nap won't hurt anyone.
Sleepinderella slept on the comfortable soft cushion of the cart. But as she had hoped for, she could not wake up in 5 minutes. The ball at the palace began, and the prince, along with Sleepinderella's friends, had a great time. The magic Sleepinderella was dreaming about was happening for real inside the castle. If only she would have stayed in the real world rather than her dream one.
Huh? What happened? Sleepinderella, you're finally up. We have to leave now. The prince chose the maiden from the Hopkins field as his wife. Oh, it was gorgeous.
While Sleepinderella married the prince in her dreams, the prince chose someone from the real world. Sleepinderella was heartbroken, but she said nothing and stayed put in the cart as everybody left.
Neither did I witness the splendid palace, nor did I get to meet the prince.
Sleepinderella was just beginning to understand the problem. And just then, what's that music? Oh, wow. I'm feeling so dizzy. Mr. Ratatouille and all the girls traveling in different carts were slowly falling asleep. As Sleepinderella looked around, she was now the only one who was awake. She opened the door to her cart slightly and heard voices.
Everybody's asleep. Quickly, let's take all the jewelry and run away.
As Sleepinderella counted, there were 2 thieves who had used hypnotizing music to put everybody to sleep so that they can rob the carts.
No, I have to do something.
Sleepinderella very well knew that she would not be able to overpower the thieves since there were 2 of them and they probably had weapons. She acted smart and pulled out the curtains from the windows inside the cart and put it on herself.
Wait, do you hear that? Something sounds scary.
The thieves turned around and saw a hooded figure on top of the pumpkin.
I am the spirit of this forest. How dare you try to steal in my house?
I did. He did. We are married. Sorry.
All of the girls and their cart riders, including Mr. Ratatouille, woke up with a jolt as they heard the thieves' screams. They all got down and gathered near Sleepinderella, and Mr. Ratatouille caught both the thieves. Sleepinderella explained to them what had happened, and everybody cheered for her heroic actions.
Yay! Congratulations, Sleepinderella! Thank you, Sleepinderella! Well, after all, your untimely sleep paid off. Your sleep saved us. You were probably sleeping and you didn't even hear the music, right?
You deserve an award for your bravery, my child.
I am not the one who deserves to be awarded. In fact, my untimely sleep would have actually gotten us all into trouble and got us robbed. I know why I could save you all, and the right person will definitely be awarded.
The next morning, the whole town got to know about what had happened. Carol was called to the palace and was complimented by the king himself for her bravery.
It fills my heart with pride to realize how brave and courageous the women of my kingdom are. We have finally caught the thieves who have been looting our carts, and it's all because of you.
I appreciate it, Your Majesty. But along with bravery, even intelligence needs to be awarded. Don't you agree? The reason I didn't fall asleep along with the others is that my cart was built in a special way which made it impossible for the music to reach me. I could only hear the whispers of the thieves when I opened the door to the cart. I never heard the hypnotizing music.
The palace was pleasantly surprised.
That's brilliant! Who built that cart?
As Armitage the craftsman entered the palace, Carol saw him for the first time, but she was already in love with his intelligence. And Armitage, too, was eager to meet the brave maiden who alone defeated the 2 thieves. Maiden Carol is a kind-hearted woman, Your Majesty. It really was her bravery that saved us all. The palace cheered for Armitage and Carol, and both were awarded by the king. But the biggest award for Sleepinderella was that she had finally met her prince, and their love story had just begun. Carol was not Sleepinderella anymore, for she understood that the real fairy tale happens not in your dreams, but when you are wide awake. Over time, Carol and Armitage fell in love and got married, and lived happily ever after.